Seeking the fabled elixir of immortality, a shogun gathers a group of the most dangerous criminals, offering a pardon to only one if they successfully retrieve the elixir from the perilous island. Among them is a formidable criminal whose strength surpasses any conventional means of execution. It all begins with Gabimaru, a boy about to be executed. The executioner prepares his sword and strikes Gabimaru's neck repeatedly, but the blade unexpectedly breaks, surprising the officials. In his prison cell, Gabimaru reveals that he was trained as a shinobi from a young age, resulting in a superhuman body. A girl named Sagiri, witnessing the event, documents it and acknowledges Gabimaru's extraordinary abilities as a shinobi. Gabimaru confirms this, stating that someone with poor swordsmanship can't harm him. The next day, the Lord orders Gabimaru to be burned at the stake, but to their frustration, Gabimaru survives the flames, leaving the Lord unsettled. Returning to his cell, Gabimaru scorns his situation, but claims he is not resisting and actually desires death. Sagiri, responsible for recording events, engages in a conversation with him. Gabimaru reveals his lack of knowledge about his parents, except that they were killed by the village chief when he was an infant. He explains that shinobis live solely to follow orders and kill, hence having no dreams. Captured by his comrades for expressing his desire to leave the village, Gabimaru suspects the village chief's involvement, as leaving it strictly forbidden. The following day, the Lord orders Gabimaru to be torn apart by bulls. However, Gabimaru effortlessly overpowers the bulls with his shinobi-trained legs. Sagiri approaches him, questioning his motives for leaving the village and resisting execution. Gabimaru discloses that he was once the village's finest, even marrying the chief's daughter. However, he grew disillusioned by his wife's naivety and expressed his desire to leave the village, leading to his current predicament. Later, an observer warned Sagiri about Gabimaru, labeling him a hollow man who had killed 20 people at once. Sagiri ponders why the hollow man would fight so fiercely and cause such destruction. In a cell, Gabimaru reveals his hidden resistance to the executions, but decides to end it during the next one. He undergoes boiling in hot oil, but miraculously survives, perplexed as to why he can't die. The Lord, eager for closure, arranges Gabimaru's final encounter. In a room, Gabimaru faces Sagiri once again, who is revealed as a sword tester and executioner from the Amada clan, capable of beheading him with a single strike. Gabimaru breaks free from his restraints, evading Sagiri's attack. Surprisingly, he discovers his neck has been cut, and he skillfully dodges Sagiri's subsequent assaults. Sagiri believes Gabimaru lies about his wife and realizes his true feelings for her, which prevent him from accepting death. Gabimaru also recognizes this, reflecting on his wife's love and their desire to escape their shinobi life. He grabs a sword and engages Sagiri, claiming that she knows nothing about his world and emphasizes his hollowness. In a flashback, Gabimaru's wife embraces him, declaring that he is not only hollow and calling him a kind person for accepting her desire, her scarred face. The village perpetuates gender roles, with men as soldiers and women solely for childbearing. The village chief disfigured his daughter's face to enforce their hierarchy. However, she insists that people's hearts are resilient and expresses her affection for Gabimaru. Gabimaru yearned to abandon his shinobi life and live peacefully with his wife, confessing his desire to the chief, which ultimately led to his betrayal. Returning to the present, Gabimaru gains momentum in the fight against Sagiri, claiming that he can never live as a human, regardless of his efforts. Disagreeing, Sagiri reveals a pardon that would absolve all his crimes and grant him the shogun's protection, but with the condition that he enters the underworld. This revelation leaves Gabimaru confused. Sagiri informs Gabimaru about a beautiful land called Shinsenkyo, recently discovered, where the legendary elixir of immortality is said to be found. She reveals that the shogun sent a search party to retrieve the elixir, but when one boat returned back, it contained flowers. And upon further inspection, a body was among them. The shogun now orders various dangerous criminals to be gathered for the expedition, considering them expendable, promising pardons upon success. Sagiri reveals she is there to identify potential candidates, seeing Gabimaru as suitable. She tells Gabimaru that his wife awaits him in the village, and the only way to reunite with her is to join the expedition. The Lord still wants Gabimaru dead, leading to an attack, but Gabimaru uses his ninjutsu, defeating all the guards. The Lord, defeated, agrees to Gabimaru joining the expedition. In a flashback, Sagiri witnesses her father's perfect execution, inspiring her to become an executioner. However, doubt and fear in her swordsmanship cause her to imagine the souls of those she kills haunting her. A man named Aizen advises her to look at her sword's reflection to find the truth. In the present, Gabimaru blindfolded joins other criminals, and they are addressed by the shogun. They are ordered to retrieve the elixir and gain pardons if successful. The criminals facing doubts learn about the island and the blooming flowers of a survivor who returned. The shogun offers them a chance to drop out, but the one who tries is executed. They will be monitored by the Yamada clan on the island, and any misbehavior will be met with immediate death. The shogun decides to reduce their numbers, leading to infighting. Gabimaru is observed for his exceptional skills, but he refuses to participate in violence. Sagiri feels overwhelmed, haunted by the spirits of those she executed. Gabimaru questions the selection process, wanting an alternative to killing. An official threatens Gabimaru, and criminal attacks him, resulting in Gabimaru defending himself brutally, killing him any in his path. Sagiri sees countless souls surrounding Gabimaru, realizing she needs to embrace the burden of her actions. The officials decide on the 10 criminals with exceptional skills to join the expedition. They all board a ship heading toward the mysterious island of Shinsenkyo. Gabimaru recalls witnessing the seemingly immortal village chief who had acquired medicine from a distant land. Now at Shinsenkyo, he shares his uncertainty with Sagiri about finding the elixir of life on this island. While exploring, Gabimaru breaks free from his restraints, but Sagiri insists he be tried again. They encounter a criminal named Keian, a warrior monk who challenges Gabimaru. Forced to fight, Gabimaru defeats Keian. Back on the ship, Kisho, the executioner, reveals that the criminals will compete to be the last one standing on the island. As the story unfolds, some criminals meet tragic fates, and Gabimaru suddenly engages in a battle with Sagiri. Despite their intentions to eliminate each other, both find themselves hesitating to deliver the final blow. Struggling with their emotions, Gabimaru's past and his wife's influence on him come to light, and Sagiri advises him to embrace his emotions rather than flee from them. Amidst the tension, another criminal named Tamiya is stung by a butterfly, revealing its true danger. Meanwhile, more creatures surround Gabimaru and Sagiri as they face the unknown dangers of the island. Facing a fish monster, Gabimaru instructs Sagiri to stay back while he prepares to confront it. In a flashback, we learn about Tamiya's background as a skilled swordsman and an officer for a lord. A disturbing comment during a drinking session led to his destructive rampage, resulting in the lord's death and a pursuit by the entire clan. As Tamiya with executioner Fuchi arrived on the island, he was stung by the dangerous butterfly, meaning the fish creature attacks Gabimaru. But he easily evades its strikes and retaliates. Unfortunately, the creature restrains him, slamming him against the ground. Despite the injury, Gabimaru recalls the shinobi rule to avoid unknown enemies. However, the creature restrains him again, throwing him against trees. Surprised by Gabimaru's vulnerability, Sagiri suggests retreating, but they are surrounded by approaching giants. Determined to survive, Gabimaru unleashes his ninjutsu, obliterating a giant's head and dispatching the others. Sagiri watches in awe, contemplating the danger of their mission. A giant threatens Sagiri from behind, but Gabimaru intervenes, snapping him out of his berserk state. Before the fish monster can attack, an executioner named Genji appears and defeats it. Yuzuriha, a ninja, joins them, praising Gabimaru's skills in battling the monsters alone. Suspicious of her, Gabimaru restrains Yuzuriha, resisting her attempts at seduction. Yuzuriha claims she was testing him and genuinely seeks collaboration. Gabimaru questions why she has 2 executioners with her, and Genji explains he joined them after his assigned criminal was killed by Yuzuriha. Another executioner, Senta, introduces himself. Yuzuriha informs them about the dangerous creatures on the island and the importance of finding the elixir. She reveals how she obtained information by testing bugs on another criminal she killed. Senta informs them about the monster's peculiar designs, raising suspicion. Yuzuriha acknowledges there is much they don't know and urges cooperation. Gabimaru desires information but agrees only to fight together. Reluctant to fully cooperate, observing their interaction, Sagiri ponders her actions on the island but collapses suddenly. The executioner Toma discusses a request with his brother, and the criminal Chobei confronts 3 giant creatures. Chobei swiftly attacks, showcasing his ability to comprehend situations. In the past story, the brothers faced poverty after their parents' death and were taken in by bandits. Chobei adapted to the situation, gaining control and becoming the bandit king. They encounter giants, and Chobe fights back with Toma is ensnared. Chobe defeats all the creatures, fueled by the belief that the existence of monsters confirms the reality of the elixir, inspiring his determination to claim it. Sagiri wakes up in the cavern where Genji informs her that she was poisoned by the butterfly scales. Despite the poisoning, Sagiri is determined to monitor Gabimaru and leaves the cavern. She finds Gabimaru preparing dinner while Senta fixes their torn clothes. During dinner, Gabimaru shares his findings from scouting the island, mentioning several flowers resembling the man depicted in the clue. They deduce that the missing individuals might have turned into plants on the island. Senta suggests not relying solely on the illustration, as the officials' knowledge about the island is limited. Sagiri notices the peculiar creatures on the island, which have animal parts stacked on humanoid forms, and Senta explains that they appear religious and resemble malformed entities. Later, Genji advises Sagiri to return to the mainland, believing she lacks the strength to survive. However, Senta points out the danger of leaving the island, as most people who attempt to do so do not return. Meanwhile, Executioner Tenza tries to escape the island with Nurugai. They discover a ship, but it's been destroyed, much like the other ships around it. Tentacles emerge from the sea and attack them. They manage to find a shipwreck and continue fighting off the tentacles. Nurugai reflects on her past, where she unintentionally led the samurai to her village, resulting in its destruction. Tenza found her innocent and showed her the pardon offer. As they attempt to escape, they encounter Kisho, who's transformed into flowers. Despite Tenza's efforts to reason with him, Kisho attacks, leading to a tragic end. However, Tenza and Nurugai decide to gather allies and plan their return to the island due to the surrounding sea monsters and treacherous currents. Back with Gabimaru and Sagiri, Gabimaru acknowledges Sagiri's strength in calming him down and mentions that experience will help her realize her true strength. The next day, Sagiri decides not to leave the island despite Genji's warning. Genji tries to intimidate her with his sword, but she effortlessly disarms him. Suddenly, Rokurota appears behind Genji and injures him. We can't wait to find out what happens in the coming episodes. Don't forget to smash that subscribe and like button and leave a comment down below.